So, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Hopefully, you're all having a wonderful Tuesday. It is the night before the League Cup game against Leicester. A game which will probably end up resulting in a load of kids playing. Kind of sad how that competition's gone over the years. But I will be doing my preview for that tonight, and I will be putting the starting 11 out that you guys pick. As soon as I finish this stream, I'll be putting out the polls for you guys to pick the starting 11. Which will then result in the video being produced later. Magic, just like that. And also, let me quickly divert your attention to a giveaway I'm doing on Flick app as well. So make sure, if you want to be in with a chance of winning a signed, framed Dennis Bergkamp, the legend that is Dennis Bergkamp, signed framed t-shirt, make sure you go and download Flick, scroll down the timeline on Flick to the giveaway, and put 2 emotes in the chat to qualify. The emotes are found in the bottom right-hand corner. Also, follow my Insta. So good luck with that competition. My Insta's in the description as well. One more thing before I start as well. Thank you, Sergio, for your donation, mate. I did see that. There it is. A tweet has come out, and apparently he's not handed in a request. I hope you're safe and well as well, mate, because I know you're getting some mad floods in that way you are as well. So stay safe, stay alert, go to work, don't go to work, do what you want to do. That's how the world's going right now. But all jokes aside, mate, I hope you're well. Hope you're staying safe and everything, mate. But we are going to speak about Guendouzi. And there is a lot of conflicting stories going around, I shall say. And the one thing you guys know that have watched this channel for a long time is that I kind of get all sides of the story and then form my own opinion off of it, rather than just going with, right, that's it, he's leaving or he's not leaving. And there was a lot of traction on this yesterday, like late last night. He's handed in a transfer request. He wants to leave. He's had a row with Mikel Arteta. I do believe that there's something in terms of his relationship with Arteta. I think it's kind of fragile, nearly as fragile as our midfield. But he obviously isn't in favour with Mikel Arteta. And this all stems back to the Malpai Brighton incident. And since then, I think that he's he's definitely been out of favour. He hasn't featured since, has he? I don't think he's played a single minute since then. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's not played a single minute. But I don't think Arteta likes him. I don't think he likes his attitude. He's become the villain, the Arsenal villain since then. And it's kind of sad how it's gone for Guendouzi, because when we beat Tottenham 4-2, man's hanging out the car, like, yeah, jumping in with the fans and everything. And he was kind of a cult hero at that particular time. And it's just gone whoosh real quick. That is probably down to his attitude, the fact that he probably thinks he's bigger than he is, the fact that he isn't actually that great, is he? I do like him, don't get it twisted. I actually think he's got a lot of ability, but I think his mindset is going to ruin him. And this is going to end up being another Jack Wilshere situation where you've got bags of talent, bags of ability. Obviously, Jack went down the route of injuries quite a lot, but his attitude as well, Jack, I thought he was a little bit up himself, a little bit thought he was better than he was, you know, and because he's standing there going, what do we think of Tottenham? All of a sudden, everyone forgets that he hardly ever played football. And Guendouzi, same mindset, in my opinion. I think that he's a young lad that's earning a fortune for his age. The spotlight's always on him, being a Premier League Arsenal footballer. And I think it's probably gone to his head a little bit. And listen, why wouldn't it go to your head? 40 grand a week when you're 19 years old, living in London, playing for the biggest club in London. Sorry to all the Chelsea fans in the chat, but it's true. I see my boy Connor in there. My belly's all right, man. I feel all right today. Yeah, it was a bit wrecked yesterday. But it's the biggest club in London. It's a global brand now. It is a brand. It's not a football club. I keep saying this. It's a global brand. And I just look at it and I think it's kind of sad that this happens quite a lot in football, that there's a lot of players that get paid a fortune very quickly for a handful of performances and they lose their way. There was a few at Man City a few years back. I can't remember the guy's name, English lad, I think he was. And he went from being an up-and-coming superstar, getting paid a fortune, to sitting in McDonald's looking an absolute fucking mess. Yeah, and that's what happens with some people when you don't get the right support group around you. You don't get the right friends around you, and the money can very quickly go to your head and end up with you being a complete wasted career. I think Guendouzi's got the ability to go on and have a great career, but I think he needs the right people around him, whether that be at Arsenal, whether that be somewhere else. I don't know. One thing I do know is this story came out yesterday that he's handed a transfer request in. I've seen today that Julian Laurens, who's not the most reliable guy on the planet, Michael Johnson, that's the guy. Thank you very much, Didier Drogba. Joanna. Are you going to play me like Drogba, or I'm going to stop singing? Even with the sick mic, I still sound shit. But real talk, yeah, I do think that Julian Laurens has put this out there saying that he's not handed a transfer request in. It's fake news. It's this, it's that, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to kind of lean, and this is only my opinion. I don't know. I haven't been told otherwise. I ain't asked my guy, and he probably wouldn't know anyway. But I do actually think he probably does want to leave. Yeah, whether he's handed that in or not, I don't know. But having seen all the stories that came out yesterday, having seen the conflicting stories today, having seen the way that he's gone from being up here to being down here real quick with the fans, and the fact that he's not played football at all, and that we've kind of offered him out to everyone in part of the award deal. We put the 31.2 million plus Guendouzi with Thomas Partey. It was cash plus Guendouzi. Unai Emery apparently wanted him at one point. Whether that was true or not, I don't know. I'm going to lean towards the fact of just my opinion that I reckon he probably has handed a transfer request in. He's probably got an agent. I don't know his agent, but he's probably got an agent that's in his ear saying to him, "Listen, mate, get out of there. Get out of there, bruv. Yeah, you ain't gonna get back in the team. You're not gonna hit the dizzy heights that you were hitting when you were playing half decent under Unai Emery and being trusted to play every game." I think Emery kind of overplayed him. He played way too many games. It was like 70 games straight or something he pretty much played, didn't he? But I'm going to side with the fact that I think he probably has handed a transfer request in. It is rather convenient, though, that as soon as the story came out about Arsenal were trying to swap Guendouzi for a Chelsea player, which again, is that true? I don't know, but it does seem a little bit coincidental that since that story broke yesterday afternoon or late morning, that then this story comes out as well. Is that the club saying, look, this is what's happened? Is it Guendouzi's camp saying, look, we've handed a request in? Is it fake news? We don't know. One thing we do know is there's less than 2 weeks of this window to go, and we have only got rid of Emi Martinez from the first team squad. Everyone can keep banging on about Mkhitaryan all they like. Mkhitaryan has not been an Arsenal footballer for well over a year. He was a Roma footballer last year. And Asmir, I can see you in the chat saying that he's reported, bruv, I wouldn't listen to a word that geezer says. He's more interested in sitting asking dumb questions in press conferences, mate. Yeah, rather than what we actually want to know, which is why we have not signed anybody. But like I said, it is only my opinion, but I'm going to side with the fact he probably has handed a transfer request in. And the thing is, when people I mean, there's a few of you saying, no, it's fake news, it's fake news. It's only fake news if you believe it to be fake news. If you don't believe that it's fake news, then it's true news, isn't it? Which is why when I do a video like this or any video transfer related, what I do is I try and get as much information from as many people that are putting news out there and then form my own opinion on it, which is what I've done with this. And if you look at the timeline of Guendouzi since he's been at Arsenal, I'd say that he probably has handed a transfer request in. It's only my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. But it does seem like a big fall from grace, the fact that he started our very first game under Unai Emery as his man, his midfielder. He then played, that was Man City, then Chelsea, then West Ham. He was playing week in, week out. And we're all like, whoa, he looks a bit of a lad. He looks a bit of a baller. £8 million. Muslim tax gone and done it again. That's what everyone was saying. Diamond Eye. That's what everyone kept saying, wasn't it? Then he's hanging out the car against Tottenham. Then Arteta comes in and hardly plays him. He played him for a few games, and he's hardly played him because of that Malpai incident and his attitude. So I don't know, man. I personally think he's handed a transfer request in. So I believe that it could be true news, but it could also be fake news. It's down to interpretation of the articles you are reading, my friends. So there we go. As you can see, I'm in a lot better mood today. Not an angry Lee today. I'm a happy Lee today. So yeah, I had dodgy belly yesterday, man. It was pissing me off. So yeah, and I went on a bit of a mad one. So sorry for chewing everyone's ears off yesterday. I'm in a bit of a chilled mood today. The deadline day is the 5th of October, as El Rossi says. Big up El Rossi in the chat. And I've just pinned that twice. I don't know why. But listen, at the end of the day, we have got less than 2 weeks to get rid of some of these players. We've not got enough players in that squad to challenge for a top 4, let alone win a title or challenge for a title. If we get a Warren party, then we could potentially get top 4. I don't still think it's enough to get us top 4. I think that the Man City at times looked a bit shocking last night, only in little stages, but I thought they played pretty well overall. And they'll do what they'll do best. They'll grind wins out when they've got Kevin De Bruyne in the team. They're class, isn't they? What a footballer he is. And they won away to Wolves, which is not an easy place to go, is it? As we found out before in the past. Liverpool will continue to be Liverpool. They've got better. They've got a better squad now than they did have at this time last year. And then you look at Chelsea, albeit they lost to Liverpool the other day. Well, it's not exactly the benchmark to judge Chelsea on, is it? We get piped by Liverpool pretty much every time we play them. So then you got Man United. Maybe that was the best thing that could happen to Man United, getting beaten by Palace the other day, because maybe now they're bored and their owner go out and actually spend some money. Hopefully not, because it means we might have half a chance. But we're a million miles away for the top 4, in my opinion. And it's funny as well. I spoke about Tim Payton yesterday, the leader of the AST, and he's put a post out today with an article that they've written and they've pieced together, saying Arsenal are about to lose 120 million pounds. It could be 150 million pounds. No sensible football club will go out in this pandemic and go and spend tons of money. Are you working for Stan Kroenke, mate? Like, real talk. How comes every other football club's going out and spending money? And what makes me laugh is when people say about the pandemic and it's not Football Manager and all that crap. How comes you're sat there talking about Aouar, Partey, Hudson-Odoi, Zaha? It ain't fucking Football Manager, is it? Yeah, you're talking about 4 players there that are going to total nearly 200 million quid. Yeah, come on, seriously, turn it in. We don't know. What we know is you're a legend, Lee. Thank you very much. Always nice to get love. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Big up to you and your family, man. Hope you're well. Hope you're staying safe, staying alert. Don't go out to help out anymore. Stay at home to help out. England's fucked, isn't it? Let's be real. The country's in a mess. I'm glad I'm in Spain, if I'm honest. Real talk. What's going to happen next week when Arsenal play Liverpool and it's a 8:15 kickoff, and at 85th minute it gets to 10 o'clock at night and they want to kick everyone out the pub? What's going to happen then? It's going to cause mayhem, mate. Trust me. There's going to be a lot of people kicking off next week. It's mad. They ain't really got a clue what they're doing, have they, really? Let's be honest. But there we go. What T-shirt is that? This, my friend, you can't really see it. Now I've pinned that. This, my friend, is an Anfield 1989. It's got a big 89 on the back as well. It's actually a very nice T-shirt, mate. It's got a little 89. You can't really see that, but it's got a nice little embroidered 89. Yeah, really nice polo shirt, man, on .com. I don't know if it's still on there, but yeah, I got it off their website, man. I think it was about 40 quid, 38, 40 quid, something like that. But yeah, I do like it. Very nice. But let's read some more of your comments and questions. We'll do another 5-10 minutes and then I'm going to get out of it. I need to do a Premier League video. I need to put the polls out for the starting 11 for the Leicester game. Also, the Vardy lookalike, Lee Chappie, I've invited him on just before kickoff tomorrow to come and give his thoughts on the team and his predictions. And he's got a quality name, so I thought, why not? The channel's built around Lee. I like Guendouzi, and I think he should get another chance if he is working hard in training. But if Arteta doesn't want to deal with him, tough. If he goes, we should make proper cash in, 35 million plus. You do know this isn't Football Manager, didn't you, mate? And listen, £35 million, he ain't worth that. He's worth about 25 in my opinion, but 20, 25 perhaps. We ain't even going to get that for him, let's be honest. But I agree. Listen, he could help out at certain points of a season. I think he's a decent footballer. But like I've said in the first 10 minutes of this video, he needs to sort his head out, mate. But if you have got the best young up-and-coming coach in world football, you'd think he'd stick an arm around him and tell him all that, wouldn't you? Maybe he has. Maybe he's not listening. I don't know. Why do we need Zaha? We don't. But apparently we're linked to him. Not for me. Because now he plays centre forward. Everyone's now ditched their love fest for Lacazette and now wants Wilfried Zaha on loan with an obligation to buy. Funny how football works, isn't it? Will we get a war? A war! It's getting boring, really, isn't it? Let's be honest. I don't know, mate, if I'm honest. I really don't. 1 week it looks like it's nailed on, then it don't. The fact and reality is nearly 10 weeks gone in this transfer window, and we have not put a cash-only bid on the table for the fella. Same with Thomas Partey. So you can't buy players unless you actually bid the money for them, yeah, and start opening the negotiation with these clubs. Why are we always lastminute.com? I don't understand. Surely you'd want to get your squad prepared and ready to start the season. People will sit and go, oh, but it was only a short turnaround. Well, tough. You had 3 months lockdown in March, April, May, and then football come back in June. You could have had 3 months to decide which players in the squad you didn't want and get ready to get rid of them. And we obviously haven't done that. You obviously know Thomas Partey's buyout clause is 50 million euros, and we've known that for a year. And then obviously Aouar, we've known for the whole transfer window it's 60 million euros. The fact we ain't got rid of anyone's more of an issue for me. Yeah, I couldn't care less whether we get Aouar. Yes, fantastic footballer. Yes, he will help us. Yes, he may boost us up a little bit. He ain't Leo Messi. The way people are going on is like it's the second coming of Messi, bruv. He might well be good. He might not be good. We don't know. The jury's still out on Pepe. Yeah, a lot of people do not think Pepe is that good. What league did he come from? What were his stats in that league? Now put Aouar in the same category. Half Aouar's stats, he's getting 5 and 5 goals and assists. Working on that basis. I know it don't work the same with every player, but the way our fans are going on is like it's Messi, the Messi reborn. You know, he might come in and absolutely flop. Yeah, he might not. He might come in and be a fucking baller. But we've seen with Kai Havertz at Chelsea, not easy to come from another league and settle in straight away, is it? Kai Havertz is a better footballer than Houssem Aouar. Yeah, and he's looked bang average and ordinary in the 2 games that he's played for Chelsea. So I think that this is why I get the ump and why I want us to do our business early. Because I think that if you get a player in right at the beginning of a transfer window, you've got 9, 10, 11 weeks before the window shuts. They're now up to speed with your methods, your ideologies, your philosophies, the phases of play with the ball, without the ball, the triangles, all the things that you want to do, dropping in between the lines where you want the players to make runs. You can put all of that together in your pre-season. Yeah, whether it's 5 weeks, 6 weeks, or 105 weeks, you can put that together by getting the player in early. By getting them in when the season's underway and it's a quick turnaround, the games every 3 days, boy, good luck with that. Good luck with that. We never seem to learn, mate. But there we go. Big up my guy. Gracious Greek. Stop making sense, bruv. I should be on the board. Really, I should be on the board. I'd sort them all out, mate. There we go. Let's move on. Castagne. Is that how you say his name? Castagne. Or is it Castange? Castange. 18 million, 2 goals, 2 assists. Good scouts at Leicester. Find players that fit the system. Best scouts in the country, mate. Real talk. Yeah, best scouts in the country. And you do it every time, mate. You know, I look at Leicester scouts and I just think, like, where'd you get these gems from, mate? All the time. And look, you've paid it. Fuck off. You've paid 18 million quid for a geezer who's come in and just gone bang. Yeah, that 18 million quid is going to turn into 38 million quid in 2 years' time. So fair play to you, man. What do you reckon to tomorrow, Georgie? Do you think you're going to see a first team out, or are you going to put a reserve team out? I still don't know what our starting 11 is going to be. It's going to be mad. I genuinely don't know. Personally, I'd go for it. I'd just put the best team out. but I do need to sit here and think about what players I need to put in these polls for you guys to pick the 11. And if you have joined late, I'm going to plug this again real quick. Download Flick for a chance to win a signed, framed Dennis Bergkamp t-shirt. Get on it right now. Go to the timeline on Flick, scroll down and put 2 emotes located in the bottom right-hand corner of the chat into the chat, and you're qualified. One lucky winner will be picked at random on Monday night after the Arsenal-Liverpool game, or Liverpool-Arsenal game. So make sure you go and check that out. And thank you to everyone who has followed me on that application. I do appreciate it. And let's do another 5 minutes of comments. We'll continue. What happens if we have over 23 on deadline day? What do you mean, players? I think we need 25. We've only got 22 we can register right now, I think. I don't know. Mate, it's mad. Yeah, it's a mess. And this is what winds me up as well, is the fact that, you know, people sit there and say, like, I'm not trying to suck Emery off, yeah? But people sit there and say, oh, Emery was backed. Emery was backed. Okay, Guendouzi we're trying to get rid of. Socrates we're trying to get rid of. Torreira we're trying to get rid of. There's 3 players straight away. The jury was out on Leno, whether it was Martinez or Leno. Yeah, so there's another Emery player. So people can say Emery was back, but he wasn't really, was he? He was backed with shit, or average players. So if people think that Arteta's going to get back in, I said this at the very start when he got the job, people think Arteta's going to get backed. Good luck with that. Yeah, good luck with that. The only time, in fact, if you think about it, people will sit there and say Pepe was a backing. Well, it weren't, because he wanted Zaha. Yeah, and he's openly admitted that since he's left. Yeah, Pepe, I like him, but this board seemed to just long everything out, take as long as they can, and always make the wrong decisions for the football club in terms of on the playing field. And the reason they do that is because they're out of touch with modern football. They're all in their 70s and 80s. Yeah, and I'm not ageist or anything like that. But listen, let's be real here. Yeah, why do you want to make Arsenal great when you've got millions of pounds sat in your bank account and you're 75, 80 years old? It's not going to be of any relevance to you, is it? You keep taking your big fat dividends out the football club every time you want to. Yeah, I couldn't care less about Arsenal after these people. Let's do a couple more. Well said. No excuses for not being ready for a transfer window. It's the same for everyone. Arsenal always living by their name, arsing around instead of getting on with it. Well, that is very true, mate. You know, how can Mike Ashley, who's notoriously hated by his own fans, have more ambition than us this summer? And what worries me is the fact that if we don't get Partey and Aouar, which we need both to at least have half a chance of getting top 4, which I still don't think we'll get if we get both of them, for the reasons I listed a minute ago. But even if we did get both of them, right? Like, seriously, why did it take all summer when we know their price? I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it, mate. And it happens year on year on year. I don't understand. I really don't. It's really not difficult to go out there and do what's required. You know, like I've said so many times on here, this football club is not the football club I started supporting. I know times move on. I know football moves on. Yeah, they ain't interested in football. They're just interested in making as much dough as they can. And what worries me is the fact that Arteta came out and said that he's being backed by the owners 100%. Well, if this transfer window shuts and we only end up with one of Partey and Aouar, then that's complete rubbish. He then came out a week after he said that and said, well, it doesn't matter who we sign, this squad should challenge. So he already changed the narrative inside a week. And if it does happen that we get neither of them, he will sit there and say, well, it is what it is. There was a pandemic and we've got to go again. And for me, that ain't good enough, because now he is part of the problem if that happens, because he's now sitting there covering them, which is what Wenger spent 10 years doing. Although Wenger was a massive issue, a big issue, and had to go. But he did also sit and cover the board. You know, and if Arteta goes in down that route, if we don't end up signing Partey and Aouar, or we sign neither of them, and he sits there and says we can still challenge, yay, be excited and all that, I'm sorry, not for me. Not for me. Is this your team for tonight, mate? Yeah, your team for tonight. Runnison. Do you think he'll play? He might play. You never know. He might play. I do like the way that the Southampton fan that runs our social media accounts was saying, "Good morning, Gooners," and putting a picture of Runnison out. Are you trying to piss me off? Right, you wake up and it's "Good morning, Gooners," and it's a £1 million signing, yeah, which equates to Mesut Ozil's monthly wage. Yeah, it's like, come on, mate. Maitland Niles, Cedric, Louise Salaba Kalazanak, Xhaka. You think Xhaka will play? Might do. Yeah, he might do. Maybe Willock, perhaps. El Neni, Pepe, and Ketia and Saka. 3-4-3. Right, I'm doing 2 more comments and then I'm going to go. Still can't believe he's a Southampton fan. He is a Southampton fan. I can't remember the guy's name. He's a Southampton fan. And he actually has it in his bio on his Twitter account. Yeah. Southampton fan, Arsenal social media accounts. My views are my own. Yeah, it's like, how are we employing a Southampton fan to run our social media account? Surely you want an Arsenal fan doing that, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm out of touch with how Arsenal are now. Well, actually, I am out of touch because I'm still thinking we're going to go and try and be the best. But them days are long dead and buried. Guendouzi is garbage. Never seen him play one decent game. You must have missed a lot of games, bruv. You must have missed a lot. Against Aston Villa, 3-2 with 10 men. He was the one who got us the penalty by driving forward, dropping a shoulder, Messi in round 3 players, and boom, penalty. He also set up Callum Chambers for the equaliser in that game as well. So there's one game. Against Tottenham, he played very, very well. And in fact, when Guendouzi was on the pitch with Dani Ceballos in that game, Guendouzi played at number 10, and he set up Aubameyang for an equaliser. Guendouzi's played a lot of good games, mate. A lot of good games. And in Europe as well, he's played a lot of good games. I think he's all right. I wouldn't cry if he left. You should run our social media account. Bruv, if I run that social media account, Jesus Christ, mate. They'd lose half their followers real quick. Right, I'm going to end on one more. One more. Let's go with... Let's find a decent one. We'll go with that. That's the last question. Efuensile. Is that how you say your name, bruv? Efuensile. Big up yourself, bruv. Can we make top 4? As it stands right now, nope. As it stands at the end of the window, if we have a War and Party, probably still no. We need more than a War and Party to get top 4. Because ultimately, over the course of a season, is there a Cup of Nations on? I think there's an African Cup of Nations this January, isn't there? So if there is, bye-bye Thomas Partey in January. In fact, let me Google that real quick. I think there is. 2021. I think there is one in there. I don't know. There might be. January to February. There you go. And it's in Cameroon. Or is that in 22? That might be 22. I don't know. I think there is one. Unless they nudged it back. They may have nudged it back. Oh, they postponed it. There you go. Thanks very much. It's gone to 22 now. Yes. So, yeah, either way, with both of them, I still don't think we got enough. We need a new right back. We need another left back to back up Tierney. And it ain't enough. But there we go. All have a wonderful day. I will be back again with a Premier League transfer update in about half hour. Don't forget, follow my Instagram, LeeGunner82. And also, one more time, download the Flick app in the description for a chance to win a signed, framed Dennis Bergkamp shirt. Scroll down the timeline, find the chat on there. Bottom right-hand corner of the chat, there's some funky little thing that floats around. Click on it. There's loads of emotes. Put 2 emotes in there, you qualify. Simple as that. Even I could do it. Laters, peeps. Laters.